we're stuck in these cycles and we don't even realize it. And we need someone to come and wake us, someone like the Buddha. We need our own Buddhas in life to come and wake us up, to come and say, hey, look at your life. Are you where you want to be? Well, no, I mean, I get irritated at my kids. I don't want to, and I think it's kind of petty, but I can't help it. So you're stuck in that cycle. Let's get out of that cycle. Why? Let's start to be aware. Let's start to hear things that are going to change our perception of the world. This affects our relationships. This affects how we interact with people, how we perceive their presence and their actions and things like that. We want to get out of the cycle of seeing things the wrong way so that we can live a full life, not a nihilistic, empty life like people, want to accuse Buddhists of. No, so we can live a full life. I want to be empty of concepts so that I can be full of reality and full of what actually is. He says, when we function from our misperceptions, we continue to create suffering for ourselves and others. So how is it that we suffer? Give me 1 second here. Well, there's a lot of ways, and we've talked about some of them, but really, I mean, you can say it comes down to what Buddha calls the 3 poisons. Okay, so if you have poison in your system, you want to get the poison out. So let me be a doctor for you and give you some of the symptoms here that you want to get rid of, or these are signs. Okay. So number 1 is that we cling to pleasure. It's okay to enjoy good things. Again, people have this misconception, Buddhists don't desire things, and I think there's some like Family Guy skit about like someone giving a Buddhist a gift, and it was like a car, like a super nice car, and then the Buddhist person was like whatever about it, or something like that. People have this caricature of Buddhists that we're just these like boring people. So not true. We can enjoy things, but we don't cling to what we enjoy. If there's enjoyment in the present moment, hey, we're having a good time. Yes, this is great. Oh, so cool. But we understand again that everything's impermanent. Change happens, and that's the nature of reality. We're not ignorant of reality. And so when the pleasurable moment goes, we let it go. And we don't stay in our mind stuck and thinking about the past and that pleasure and then miss out on the present moment. Maybe you're missing out on some more pleasure in the present moment. I don't know. But either way, there is an ebb and flow between pleasure, pain, and what we call indifference, or just a neutral feeling. But because we don't know who we really are, because we don't know that we're safe, because you are safe, by the way. You are safe in your Buddha nature. Whether you're a Buddhist or not, I'm telling you, you have Buddha nature. You are Buddha. You are safe. You are sound. You are complete. You are compassionate. You are stable. That's the truth. But if you don't know that, you're deluded and you're confused. And so, of course, you're going to cling to pleasure. Well, my life sucks. Something good is here. I want it. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. You're clinging to these things. It can be in the form of clinging to a person or a job or a religion or a belief. Oh, I feel really good when I show off this belief. And so guess what happens when people disrespect your belief or disagree with you? You want to argue with them because you're clinging to pleasure. You're clinging to a certain satisfaction. That's a way that we suffer that we can talk about all day, but that's kind of a main bullet point. We also suffer because we run away from pain. We run away from uncomfortable moments. We run away from unpleasurable moments. Like I said, hot water is just hot. You don't have to think about how hot it is. It is what it is. Of course, don't go looking for trouble. I don't go looking for suffering, right? Like some ascetic monk beating myself up. But life happens. And we got to face that. Buddha taught us that, listen, you're going to get sick, you're going to get old, and you're going to die. That's a fact. I'm not trying to, bring the party mood down, but if you haven't thought about that, maybe you should. Maybe it'll change the way you think and live your life. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. And even if you don't get sick, you for sure will get old and die. But even if you don't get sick, your loved ones are probably going to get sick. I have loved ones that have gotten sick and passed away. Sucks, but it's just the way it is. And if I can't accept that, I'm going to suffer. Listen, there's necessary suffering and there's unnecessary suffering. Necessary suffering is what I told you. Things happen. That sucks. It's okay to say that. But the unnecessary suffering is what I add on to the suffering that life gives me. Why double the dose? Why, if life gives you suffering, why go, can I have some more, please? That's what we're doing when we don't understand these Buddhist truths. And we respond to pain in a way of ignorance, and we're stuck in this cycle. Let's say your car breaks down, you got to go to an important meeting, maybe you were about to score a big deal. That sucks. But why get irritated? Why be in a bad mood? Why take it out on the tow guy trying to tow your car to help you? Why add more suffering to the suffering that's already happening? You will always do that if you are antagonistic towards pain in bad moments. You need to be in acceptance of all that comes to you, the good, the bad, the ugly, the neutral, the beautiful, the painful. Again, don't go looking for it. If you can find a way out, get out. If you're in an abusive relationship, please leave. But there are things in life that we can't control that are not fun. And if we don't know how to roll with that and how to be open with that, again, be empty, be open, be spacious, be in a place of acceptance and compassion of all that is. If you can't do that, you're already suffering from that mindset, and you're going to cause more suffering. I always tell this story. For me, it's just like brings this home. It's so simple, but one day, I was excited about drinking this craft beer that I found at Trader Joe's or something, right? 6-pack of beer. I had a long day of work, and man, I was excited to drink this beer. I get home, I'm thinking about this beer. I'm thinking about, man, I'm gonna watch a good movie and drink this beer. I'm gonna drink 3 of these tall boys or 2 or something. I don't know. Not too excessive, right? And then I get out of the car, and I got groceries too. You know how it is, you're fumbling with stuff. And I dropped the beer. All 6 cans end up with holes in them. There's beer shooting everywhere, right? And instead of being like, oh no, or instead of being like, what the, cussing and stuff, which is what I probably would have normally done a few years before, I'm not exaggerating. I was just like, oh man, okay, well, I'll get it next time. And I was shocked at my own behavior. I took a second look at myself, like, who am I? What the heck was that? Sometimes there's fruit and there's good karma effects in your life that you don't realize. You don't realize that you've changed. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm different. Normally that would have bothered me. What's going on here? Number one, I wasn't clinging to pleasure. Yeah, I was enjoying the idea of drinking my beer, but I wasn't so stuck to it. And number two, I had already come to a place where I was able to accept good times and bad times. So when bad times happened, it didn't faze me, okay? And then finally, there's like a neutral feeling. There's different ways of talking about it. We suffer from indifference. One way of looking at it is that when we're indifferent towards something, we're not aware, we're not present. So we're not present with ourselves or others. And when you're not present, you're already in a state of suffering. So if you're a parent and your little daughter is so excited about her painting, and maybe it looks, kids can't paint, so it looks stupid, right? It's okay, right? Or whatever, right? And she comes to you and you're too distracted and you're too busy trying to be ambitious and be successful. It's good to be successful, but maybe you're clinging to that. So now you can't be present with your daughter, right? So number one, you're suffering because you're missing out on this beautiful moment. Suffering doesn't always mean like, oh, it's bad. Suffering means you're missing out on the good. You're missing out on the good. But now she's suffering because now she's walking away thinking, oh, I'm not important to my dad. I'm not worthy of his time. I'm not worth. And now she's going to take that with her whole life. You see how everything we do, man, oh, it's so crazy. It affects things. That's why we need to want to be aware. We need to want to be present. And listen, that's a practice. That's why we got to meditate. That's why we have to practice. We have to practice it. We're so used to the opposite. I hope that you're thinking, okay, yeah, I want to be aware so that I can catch myself and not do things that hurt others, not do things that hurt myself, not do things that keep me in a place. Because if you don't take awareness and meditation and a restful mind serious, you're just going to go back to samsara. You're going to leave this meeting, this talk, and you're going to go back to the cycle that you were in, and that's it. Not good, but you can change that. But let's not end it on a negative note. You can change that. We continue to create suffering, samsara. We repeat the cycle of saying things and doing things and also seeing things a certain way that hurt ourselves and hurt others.